Sam is the only self-proclaimed Don. Don got given his title. Sam gave it to himself. There's a little difference there. But how are you, gentlemen? You both well?
Yeah, I'm good. You know, there's a Chelsea guy trying to be a Don. It doesn't work, you know, because all his opinions are trash.
Oh,
Yeah, he
have
has
you seen
trash.
Have you seen the latest one?
What did he say?
I'm actually going to. It was going to be part of the show, but you brought it up, and it's just perfect. We're going to play it now. I heard this morning, and I went to do the research based on what he said, right? And I'm going to tell you, I did the research on his eye test, and he told us to listen to this.
They play centre backs at fullback as well. You know, we've got Madueke now. You might not rate Madueke like that, but Madueke is one of the best one-on-one attackers in the league, bro. Yeah, and I'll say that from now. Yeah, because bro, one-on-one, that guy is difficult, bro, to mark. You're laughing. It's true. It's true, bro. Go check the stats. Go check the stats. He telling me Madueke one-on-one's not good.
So I went and looked at the stats, and there's no stat for one-on-one, right? There's a stat for completing your dribbles, right?
Fast, basically.
Dribbles, right? So I went and looked at it. 1.1 dribbles completed per game in the Premier League this season, per 90 minutes by Madueke, which isn't bad. But it ranks him 50th in the league. Some players that are ahead of him. Cameron Archer, James McAtee, Iwobi, João Pedro, Marcus Tavernier, John McGinn. Rashford completes more successful take-ons and dribbles than him. And this is the thing. The take-on is one thing, getting past the man. But also, what's at the end of it? What happens when that dribble is complete as well? So I when you said that about Don, I was going to play it during the Chelsea segment, but it did make me laugh because he says, go and check the stats. So I checked the stats. That for me, that's the proof eye test doesn't always work.
You know, that clip right there, there's actually something. By the way, big up to you guys. Make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Share the video everywhere as well. Big up for all supporting our Straight Facts show. Second of all, this is what I want to say. There's someone on that stream that I've never worked with, but he speaks more sense than any Chelsea fan I've seen, which is CB. Shout out to him, who's been calling out how dead these players are. I've actually come to the conclusion today. The basic disagreement is not even a Poch disagreement. I realized this, Terry, today. It's actually some Chelsea fans actually think they have good players. This is the bottom line disagreement.
You just realized that today.
No, they think they have good players in the here and now. They don't realize that the good players will become good 3 years from now. And I think this Madueke take is just added onto the Don shit takes bank, which is filled right now. If you want to take a loan out, it's very easy because it's full. It's full of shit takes. I actually think it's more rare for Don to make a good football opinion than to make a shit football opinion. It's way more like natural for him to make a shit one. Madueke is one of the worst forwards I've seen in this whole league when it comes to any fucking attribute shown on the football pitch. I don't think he's a good dribbler or a good passer or a good finisher or a good anything. I think he's just there. I think he would fit right into Crystal Palace, right into Wolves, right into Luton. Like, he wouldn't look out of place next to Tosin Adebayo. And this is the guy I'm supposed to think is one of the best, getting past players in the league.
That's harsh to say. That is hard to say. You're doing the opposite of what Dunn is doing. I do agree with you that Dunn sometimes overdoes it. I wouldn't say he's trash. The issue is that he doesn't have a big enough sample size for me to claim he's one of the best.
Would he look out of place in Luton Town? Be honest.
No, but here's the thing that I'm trying to say. I've seen glimpses of him. But the thing is, I don't see enough of Madueke to claim that he's one of the best in anything in the league because he doesn't play enough. Could he be a good player? I think he's a decent dribbler, yes. I've seen him take on his defenders and do decent. I've seen him rip a few shots, so I can't say he's a trash finisher. But I also can't do what Don is doing. What Don is doing, I think Don, when it comes to Chelsea, even though I think he's unconscious to what he does sometimes, where he sometimes overdoes it, but I think it's out of emotion because he does love his club and he does rate his team. But I'd like to be somewhere down the middle. I wouldn't say he's one of the best in the league. He could if he does it more. I just need to see it more. But I also wouldn't say he's trash. Would he fit in a Palace and them teams? He probably would.
That's where I agree with you. I understand when it comes to Madueke. I understand I was talking. Sorry, Sam. I'll come back to you in a second. I understand that he's exciting because he is a player that passes the eye test. But when you look at again, I've gone looked at deeper numbers. Why? Because Don said go and do it. So he has quite a high level of take-on success. 50% of his take-ons are complete per 90 minutes. He gets past people on 3 occasions, but only then completes 1.1 of his dribbles, which means he beats a man. But then obviously after beating a man, not much is happening. But you then look at what comes after that, his chance creation and his crossing accuracy. And I've compared it to Bukayo Saka because that's a player that Don dunks on and says is overrated. Bukayo Saka creating 2.7 chances per game versus Madueke's 1.4. Crossing accuracy of 24% versus 14%. And that for me is where if I look at someone who's one of the best like one-on-one in the league, I wouldn't just look at the take-on success. I wouldn't just look at the dribbling success. You've got to look at those two elements, the crossing accuracy and the chances they create or the goals they score. Because if what comes after the take-on isn't very good, they're not one of the best one-on-one. I would rather have somebody like Saka whose take-on completion is 5% worse. 5% worse only. But when he crosses that ball, when he cuts that ball back, he creates more chances. So Saka one-on-one is better than Madueke. Not in terms of how good the dribbling looks, but the dribble coupled with the cross, coupled with the creativity at the end of it. We can't be removing all the facets of what make you a good one-on-one attacker. You have to put it, it's like saying, if you've got a great first touch, you can volley players out of the way, but you always miss your final shot. You're not a great number 9. You can't be a great number 9 if you do all the hold-up play well, but your finishing is awful. Equally, you can't be a great number 9 if your finishing is great. Do you know what I mean? And there's nothing else to your game. Some will say Haaland. I disagree. I think he has got other elements to his game. He's in bad form. But yeah, I love Don. I love Don to bits. But I think the way he talks about Chelsea and the way he talks about Chelsea players sometimes, do you realize where you are and where you've been? And it's kind of weird to me. Like he'll talk, honestly, I know he's a Chelsea fan, so he should, but he talks more positively about Chelsea players and Chelsea's situation than he doesn't
keep the same energy. That's the issue with Don.
Like, I can't fathom how you can do that.
I agree with you. This is what I've been telling him that, Terry.
United fans attack me for the other way around. Like, why don't you say as many nice things about us as you do Arsenal and Liverpool? How can I? We're not as good. It's impossible. But you don't see me sitting there praising Chelsea, but at the same time dunking on United. I feel I keep the energy pretty.
This is why I have chest for other teams, because when people say, "How can you talk when your team is shit?" Do you not watch my content? Do you not hear what I say every week? Like I probably talk about my team worse than anyone else. So I kind of give myself that leeway that yes, I can criticize ops, because when it comes to my team, I dunk on my team the most. I'm very aware of how bad we are. Don, unfortunately, this is the opposite. I love Don, by the way. I have a lot of time for Don. I enjoy working with Don. But if he kept that same energy that he has for the ops to his team, I don't think anyone would have an issue. It's just when it comes to his team, just a little bit too many excuses. Like when he said, if we set up correctly, we'd win more. No shit, Don. If I woke up and I found $1 million, I'd be a millionaire. But I'm not, because I didn't find it. So don't state the obvious, bro.
Well, this is the thing. And then I've got like an eye test guy. He's literally at eye test is his name on YouTube. At United eye test. You must have had him in Spaces at some point. Sam.
Yes, I know him. Yeah. Yes.
He's quote tweeted it saying they are using stats to justify a one-on-one dribbling. This sport is cooked. But Don himself said check the stats. So this is the thing, right? Stats are important. If I say that my defender's a great tackler and he's great at winning these duels in the air and he barely loses possession in his own half. He barely makes mistakes, but the stats show that he only wins 20% of his aerial duels. He only wins 10% of his tackles that he attempts. My eye test is broken. My eye test is broken because the stats can be manipulated, but they surely, if I think a player is got a great conversion rate, but they only score 1 in every 20 shots, my eye test is broken. It's as simple as that. There has to be a balance in this. And eye test merchants, this is what I love about eye test merchants. And Don is one. He did it here in this video. Every single time they want to make a point to you about why their player is the best based on their eye test, the first thing they do to back it up is they give you a stat. If they want to shit on a player, the first thing they give you are stats. That's what I love about eye test merchants. They can't even describe it. But moving on from that, because it wasn't even really meant to be a topic today, but it ended up being one. I like it.